All right, so a common thing that happens when people hurt their back is they're wondering, is this bad or not, right? Like, did I actually hurt it? Maybe my back's just a little sore. Did I strain a muscle? Did I really injure it this time? So I feel back pain goes into three categories. Your back's either just sore, or it's strained, or you've actually injured it. So let me see if I can explain those three things to you. So when you have a sore back, there tends to be pain that's just sort of what we would say diffuse, like it's across a broad area in your back. And how it comes on, sometimes you don't even know how it comes on, right? You just wake up one morning and you're like, man, my back is sore. But then you probably remember like, oh, you know what? I did some yard work yesterday that I don't normally do. Or, you know, I tried a new exercise at the gym. Or I had a long car ride, something like that. So there usually isn't any incident involved. It's usually just something pretty benign and your back's just a little sore. And typically with this, just doing a little bit of movement, sometimes just walking, doing some stretches will have the pain start to go away. And that pain will only last for 24 to 36 hours, and it tends to be not that bad. So that's what I consider when you just have a sore back, okay? The next category would be a strain. So the definition of a strain is, in my opinion, is where there is actually a little bit of damage to the tissue, specifically the muscle tissue, right? You've pulled it a little bit would be a good term. And so with a strained muscle, you tend to know that you did do something that was a little bit more than usual, right? So let's say a good example of that would be you went to the gym and the way the workout was set up that day involved multiple exercises that worked the same area of the low back. You maybe started to feel it a little bit during the workout, but it wasn't too bad. You were able to do the workout. But then the next day or maybe later on in that day, it's like, wow, my back is really sore, right? You might even have a little bit of some sharp pain with it when you move in certain ways. And the pain probably will last longer than 48 hours, maybe move into like a third or fourth day, okay? That's more indicative of a strain where a little bit of damage has occurred, where you probably need to rest a little bit, right, to let it calm down, and then slowly go back into things that work your low back a little bit, okay? So that's the difference between a sore and a strain. A little bit more damage, pain is a little bit sharp, a little bit more specific, lasts a little bit longer, and you probably need to rest just a little bit to recover, to heal just a little bit before you go back to working out. Now, when you've injured your back, right, an injury, and that would be something when it's involved the muscle of the back, it's a bigger muscle strain or a bigger pull, like a large strain, or other structures of the back that we know about involving the discs and nerves where you'd get some symptoms going down the leg, maybe into the buttocks. So when you have an injury, you tend to know exactly when it happened, right? So an injury is more indicative of like, well, I went to help my neighbor move a desk and, oh, you know, I felt something, it was sharp, and it was immediate. Or you're at the gym and you went to do a lift, you felt something immediate that was sharp, and it usually causes you to stop doing what you're doing, or at least modify it, right? Like, you know, I felt it right in the middle of that set, and then I'm not finishing that set. It's not like you can't move, but it's like your body's telling you, don't do that, okay? So that's more indicative of a muscle injury or an injury to your back, is when you know it happened and you felt something very specific, the pain is fairly sharp, you're getting symptoms into your buttocks, down your legs sometimes if there's a neurological component. Then also, the pain will last for several days. Sometimes this can last a really long time, just depends on the severity of it, even into some weeks. But this is something where more than likely you would need to take a little bit of medication to help deal with the pain. You're definitely going to want to rest a little bit. Also start doing some stretches, some walking and things like that if you can, but initially you may need some help to deal with the pain in the form of some medication, some ice and things like that. So those are kind of the ways I categorize those three types of back pain. Is it just sore? Did I do a little bit of a strain, or is there an actual injury? Hopefully that clarifies a little bit. If you've hurt your back or having some back pain and wondering what exactly do I have, Hopefully that will clarify it. With any of those things, obviously, we definitely help patients with that. There's different stages that you're in recovery for each one of those things. Some of it is to help you get over the pain, and then a lot of it is to what can we do to help you so that this doesn't happen again. And that's the thing that you should be concerned about, is if you repeatedly strain or injure your back, especially with activities. This is a lot where physical therapy will step in, and a good physical therapist, a performance type physical therapist, can really help you get strong so this doesn't happen again. So, and that's a soapbox I have of just definitely like a back that is not fragile is a back that is strong. So if you're having a problem with back injury and you don't want to get a back injury, then make sure that your back is strong and work out. So please leave any comments below. We'd be happy to answer any questions. And yeah, hopefully you got a lot out of this. We'll talk to you next time.